Hi, I hope you're all doing well. Here I am making another video, um, yet again highlighting the interesting language that our news decides to put forward um, when it comes to certain people and certain stories. Look, I've been in this game long enough to realize exactly what it is that the media are trying to do and what they're trying to put out there for the world to see. For me, it's clear as day, but the sad thing is most people don't realize it. Look, this has been going on for a very long time. None of this is new. Propaganda comes from everywhere. But the bottom line is, it is up to us as individuals with intellect, with reasoning, to do our own research, especially when it comes to topics that tend to flare us up or pique an interest within us. It's very important for you to do further research and just to clarify if what the news is telling you is true, and just to clarify if these stories and headlines are not being sensationalized, merely for entertainment value. Because a lot of these stories out there that are in the media are very serious stories. And they're stories that actually have the power to change your thought process on how you view certain people. So, lo and behold, a couple days ago, we had the 20th anniversary of the Srebrenica genocide or massacre in Bosnia during the Yugoslav War. Now, that whole war, the Yugoslav War, was very messy, and it was a very terrible time for the world. Okay, and I'm not here to say anything. I'm not here to pick sides. For me, I wish peace, and love for my fellow Bosnians, Serbians, Croatians, Macedonians, Slovenians. Look, that's what I'm about. Okay, so I'm not here to attack any certain people. But the bottom line is, research is fundamental when it comes to these stories. So I went to the Australian news website, news.com.au, and lo and behold, I saw a story that really caught my attention. And the story read, "Angry Muslims assault Serb PM." It's those pesky angry Muslims again, isn't it? Because that's all they tend to be, angry, okay? Not for any reason, don't be silly. They're just angry, it's what they are. They're Muslim, they're angry. And if you look at the other titles about this story, none of it is much better. The Daily Mail, the Serbian Prime Minister, Aleksander Vucic, was stoned by angry Bosnian Muslim mob. Oh, that sounds so intense. What these headlines are pointing out to us is basically that this Serbian Prime Minister obviously came to Bosnia, to the site of this massacre of 8,000 Muslims at Srebrenica, to go there to be an activist for coexistence, for peace, for love, for unity. All of these pretty little happy fairy tale rainbow unicorn things that you would expect. But then, lo and behold, of course, a whole bunch of savage Muslims came along and just started stoning him for no good reason at all. Yeah, because they're Muslims, they're angry, they're savages, they're barbaric. Makes sense, right? Well, no. So this current Serbian Prime Minister, Aleksander Vucic, said in 1995, during the Yugoslavian War, this. You ready? Go for it.
Pa vi bombardujte, ubijte jednog Srbina, mi ćemo 100 muslimana. Pa da vidimo sme li međunarodna zajednica ili bilo ko drugi da udari na srpske položaje, može li se tako ponašati sa srpskim narodom?
For every one Serb killed, we're going to kill 100 Muslims. So just look at the language that this current Prime Minister used during the Serbian War, which led to the 8,000 Bosnians to be murdered. Look at the language that he used. Per single Serb, which is a national identity. It is a ethnicity. For every Serb killed, we will kill 100 Muslims. not Bosnians. Just think about that language. 100 Muslims. So this is a whole lot more of a general term. And it's unjust. I mean, if you are going to go with an eye for an eye, okay, the worst you would say is for every Serb killed, we would kill one Bosnian. That's the worst you could go, right? But Aleksander Vucic said, per every Serb that was killed during this Yugoslav war, he would get 100 Muslims killed. So this language alone is very harsh, very violent, very bitter. And somebody that once said that really needs to do a lot to take that back. Look, if this man, the current Serbian Prime Minister, was truly there for reconciliation and peace, he would acknowledge that what occurred that horrible time was indeed a genocide. And B, he would take back those very hurtful, very violent words that he said. And there's no evidence to suggest he's done any of these things. So the fact that this man comes to the site of this massacre and walks amongst the graves, and beware that they were burying people during that time. They're still finding bodies in Srebrenica today of the massacred Muslims. So the pain is very prolonged. The pain is very fresh and raw. So, of course, this man coming here was, from their perspective, almost like an insult. It was him there basically taunting them. And that is why they were angry. And that is why they threw stones and bottles at him to get him out of the anniversary site of Srebrenica. They did not want him there. They did not feel that his visit was genuine. And they don't feel that his visit was one of genuine hope and reconciliation between these communities. In saying that, the media, of course, never highlighted what this Serbian Prime Minister said in 1995 during the war that led to these deaths in Srebrenica. They never quote him saying, for every Serb killed, we'll kill 100 Muslims. You see, that would put something called context in the story. But the fact of the matter is, this man that they attacked has grounds to be hated. Okay, let's not beat around the bush. And what happened there was a sign of that. Their anger came from somewhere. And their anger, in their eyes, was justified against the Serbian Prime Minister. But all the news outlets are really, really pushing for him to be a victim. But the fact of the matter is he truly a victim? Is he truly so innocent? We need to look at the background of his story. We need to look at the background of who he was, especially during this war, because that really contextualizes the whole issue. And it really, really shows why the Bosnians were angry at him coming to this mass grave site and why they saw it as an insult. And I really believe that Serbia could have perhaps a better role model as a prime minister. Somebody with a bit of a cleaner history, somebody with a bit of a cleaner backdrop. In order to proceed with peace and reconciliation, you cannot bring someone to the anniversary of a genocide, someone that denies it as a genocide, and someone that openly called for the death of 100 Muslims per one Serb. Okay, this is the reason these Muslims were angry, and dare I say it, I understand. I understand now, because I did my research. It's not just a bunch of angry Muslims, just going ape shit for no reason, which is what the news is really suggesting. And it's not about an innocent prime minister. No, please don't hurt me. No, I've never done anything wrong or said anything wrong in my life. I'm here for peace. Peace, man, peace. Not a genocide. Peace. One Serb to 100 Muslims. Peace. See how ridiculous that sounds? It is ridiculous. It's amazing just what the news says and how the news, conceals some information, provides some information, forms its own narrative, and then hands it to you and says, here you go, read, you're done? Okay, next story. No, you need to do your research. The further you dig and the deeper you go, the more that you realize just how much the mainstream media is a grubby, lying, manipulative form of information that we shouldn't be fed. So the only reason I look at sites like the Daily Mail, News Limited, the Australian Daily Telegraph is for my dose of comedy, for my dose of seeing exactly, being on top of what they're doing and being smarter than them in essence, because I get it. I can see straight through what they're doing. But sadly, a lot of people can't. And it's good to live in the world of truth, and it's good to live in the world of facts. But the thing is, when we're looking at articles like Angry Muslims Assault PM and Serbian PM stoned by angry Bosnian Muslim mob, we come to see there's a clear agenda here. There's a clear concealing of information. Information that is extremely handy in giving us context on why the Muslims are angry. But we're given no context on why the Muslims are angry. All we have is an innocent Serbian prime minister and a mob of angry Muslims attacking him. That's not the reality of the actual scenario, guys. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Peace and love to you all. Happy Ramadan, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace out.